Okay, you guys, what is up? The King of Lightning is here today to do Bleach Chapter 546 review. Now, wow, I mean, I'm saying wow mainly because of the fact that I just had like a 45-minute debate with my brother about something involving this week's chapter of Bleach. And I'll get more into detail later. Not only that, but of course, like this morning, like around 1 o'clock in the morning, I was informed by Twilight, one of my subscribers, who informed me via PM, via Twilight Yonder, told me about how Bleach is going on hiatus. And lo and behold, a few hours later, I see on Anime News Network that in fact Bleach is going on hiatus, and also it was informed on Manga Stream. I mean, I sent out a tweet about it, and I put it out on my Facebook fan page early this morning about how Bleach was going on like a 5 to 6 week hiatus, and Bleach will not come back until the beginning of September 9th. So again, I'll talk about that more in detail later on in the video. But since this is going to be the last chapter of Bleach for a while, I'm going to do my best to cover like all the stuff that's relevant, and also I'll make a few announcements here and there. So, concerning Bleach, obviously. So, that being said, let's start this off. Let's start this off by showing you this picture. You see the dude on the left? That's the way it should have been. That's the goddamn way it should have been. Not this freaking hunting knife. Bowie knife. What the fuck is that? It makes no sense. That makes no sense. The Quincy powers. Why is it a goddamn knife? That's disrespectful, man. Yo, the Quincy pride, son. Gotta rock the all white. Like you're going to an all white party. Had to go to one recently. Caught me off guard. Wearing all white, but whatever. So, but like you look at him, like he looks badass with the whole Quincy cross and the glowing blue. So that's the way, in my opinion, it should have been. But obviously that's not the case because he has his two Zangetsus, and one is an actual sword, which is the Arankor powers, and the other one's a fucking Bowie knife. The fuck. Alright. But more focus on the chapter itself. The chapter had 3 parts. The first stage, that's right, the first stage is the stuff involving Kyoraku and Ichigo's friends. Tatsuki, Keigo, and Mizuru. The second part is apparently there's stuff going on in Hueco Mundo concerning training and Chad. Like I give a fuck about Chad and Inoue. Like what the moving on. The third part, which is like the main meat of the chapter, obviously. Yhwach back! Oh my god, this dude is amazing. Yhwach back comes in there. Oh my. He comes in there. And he's like, yo, takeover. Yo, he came out of nowhere. It was like, wait, what's happening? Like the shadows. So, first of all, let me say this, alright? Techie King, props to you. And I'll get more in detail later on. But props to you, because I think that you were right about the whole entire Quincy world being like a shadow realm. And it ties into Soul Society some way. Because like, we see... Fuck, you know what, dude? Let me backpedal, right? Let me go back to stage 1. So, first of all, the beginning of the chapter, Kyoraku basically, and no summary, he basically informs Keigo, Mizuru, and Tatsuki that Ichigo, if his powers are too great, then he will not be able to come back to the world of the living, because he will cause a lot of problems because of the amount of Reishi that he has, Reiatsu. That makes perfect sense. That makes absolutely perfect sense. When you think about Aizen Soulscape, the dude came back. He was on a higher dimension. Whatever the hell that meant. I mean, listen, to me personally, I will argue with Elite Ace all damn day. I don't care. All it means to me is that the dude has more Reiatsu. So much more Reiatsu where it can't be sensed by conventional means, alright? It's not like they're like 4th dimensional motherfuckers. Come on. Like seriously? Like we're gonna believe that? Get out of here. No. I don't believe that. Basically, it's just having so much Reiatsu where it's going to affect the actual structure around you. And granted, the way it is in Bleach is that the Hueco Mundo and Soul Society, what defines the structure of these worlds is Reishi. and reishi is the equivalent to atoms. So the same thing applies to the human world, considering the fact that the Shinigami, they can actually walk on the air, because they're not actually flying, they actually walk on the spirit particles that are in the human world. But I don't know if, like, the way it is that there's more reishi, the reishi is much more dense, or there's more reishi in general in Hueco Mundo and in the spirit world, Soul Society, than there is in the human world. So, but it's still, but the reishi, or I mean the Hiatus that one has, still will affect the surrounding area and the people that he touches and so on and so forth. So in order to avoid any catastrophes, Ichigo, if he is powerful enough, if he's like mega powerful, like for example, if the Spirit King gives Ichigo some kind of power up, then there's no way he can come back. There's no way. So that makes perfect sense. And as I said before, Ichigo may have to make a choice between his duties as a Shinigami or his friends. And that choice appears to be, it's in the horizon. It's in the horizon. That's the way it is. So, and of course, Keigo, Tatsuki, they're mad. They're upset. Well, no. Keigo more so. But Mizuru is he's actually very understanding about, you know, this being a possibility. However, Kyoraku informs them after Mizuru asks him, so what are the odds of this happening? He's like, 1 in a million. Astronomical. So it probably won't happen. However, in the case if it does happen, here are these soul tickets. And I'm thinking about how many times would these soul tickets have been useful for Ichigo and his friends. Like, seriously. Like, now, so apparently you have soul tickets now? Like, really? Soul tickets. And Kyoraku gave, I wonder if Kyoraku knows that Ishin was Shiba. No, Ishin, you don't know. He knows. But basically, he gave the tickets to Ichigo's immediate family and, of course, his friends. So if Ichigo can't leave the spirit world, they can come visit him at any given point in time. Like, whenever. It appears that these soul tickets are permanent. Like, you have them, you got them for life. That's the way it seems. I don't fucking know. So that's number 1. And that part of the chapter, I thought was interesting, but it does hint at a lot of things that are going to happen in the future about Ichigo making this choice and how he may be so goddamn powerful where he cannot... I don't know about this 4th dimensional, 5th dimensional, 8th dimensional bullshit. Fuck that. 5th dimensional, 4th dimensional, I don't know. Listen, man. All I can say is that he's going to be so powerful where his existence will affect the immediate area and the people there. So obviously, he can't come back. Otherwise, the balance will be unstable. Almost like with the Quincy's, they cause disbalance. Ichigo's own existence would cause disbalance. Even though he's a human, he's also in a romper. So, and a Quincy. So that's number 1. So part 1, I like it. I thought it was very nice. Hints here and there, moderately okay. That's number 1. Number 2, very vague shit. Like I don't care. Just show Grimjow. Just come on. Fuck. It's like, yeah, Inoue's talking about whatever. Like, I wish like, you know, saving. And basically, what's important about that part is that they've gone around saving a romper, and they've been training. Now, who cares about Chad and Inoue training? Not my ass. I don't give a fuck. Inoue was supposed to be hacks as fuck. She had the power to negate God. Shitty. Absolutely goddamn shitty. Fuck, I don't care. Chad, enough said. Shitty. Like, seriously. Like, come on. Like, El Directo. Yeah. Get the fuck out of here, man. Fuck, you suck. Fuck Chad. Shitty. Forever shitty. Forever shitty. That's the way it is. He is the full bring representative in the story right now. Shitty. Way to rep your people, man. Mad shitty. But Urahara, yeah, so I think that he's making a portal to the Quincy home world. But then again, when you think about it, at the end of the chapter, we saw that Yhwach brought the Quincy home world to Soul Society. So it's like, dude, fuck it. But all I'm gonna say is that people are saying that one guy sent me a PM the other day how since we have Inoue and Chad, and he summarized, he actually called it that I forgot his name, but he called it that they were going around saving Ronker. He told me that he or she told me that they got Tesla, like Noitura's subordinate, that I think Kenpachi may have killed. I thought that Kenpachi killed him. Tesla, oh yeah, Tesla and the guy with the afro, that pre-run Espada, and that other girl too. I think, is she alive too? The one with the like that dominatrix chick, the one with the whip who fought against Uryu, that one pre-run Espada. She could be alive too. I forgot exactly, but the one with the afro that Chat fought against, he should still be alive because I think Unohana saved him, and Grimjo's obviously. But basically, we're gonna see old and new Ronker come into the fray and help out the Shinigami against the Quincy. Because the Quincy, they started off their assault in Hueco Mundo. They captured the queen of Hueco Mundo, Haribel. You think they ain't pissed? They pissed as fuck. And once they found out that Yhwach was sticking his dick up with those sugar balls, oh fuck, they pissed. Like what? Kill him, hang him. But that's number 2 right there. Number 2, it's interesting when it comes to the overall story and, you know, for the foundation of Hueco Mundo and the Ronker when they lead. But Chad and Inoue training, I don't give a fuck. I really don't care. I'm just hoping to see Urahara's Bankai, alright? I need to see every goddamn Bankai before the story ends. If I don't see every goddamn Bankai before the story ends, I'm pissed. I'm very fucking pissed. Aizen, you too! Get out of jail! Bankai up! I need to see this shit. That's number 2. And number 3, the last part. Okay, so this is what had, like, this last part led me to a discussion with my brother for, you know, a long discussion. Yhwach comes in there, right? And he makes his world appear over Society. He makes this giant-ass dome. A transparent dome. Like a transparent titty with, like, no nipple. And, yeah, I know. Fuck it. We see that there is like a tent or a building, and it's, of course, there's shadows where the bars are. All of a sudden, the shadows start to like come out of the bars, and like they start to form up against the side of the dome, and then we see like an ice, like an ice German city, like something of that nature. Like a clock tower, German-style houses, and so on and so forth. And then we see the Ice Palace. So, I think Teki King was right about that. I think that their world coincides with the world of the Shinigami, but it's like a shadow realm. It's like on some Yu-Gi-Oh shit. Like Pegasus just came into the fucking shadow realm. Come out, like fuck it, you know, Millennium items, fuck it, like what, fuck it. Out. So I think he was right. I think he was like 100% correct on that. The shadows were coming out of those bars, and they started to creep up the side of the dome, and then we see the actual Quincy world come out. Now, what ends up happening is that later on, of course, we see Yhwach, we see Hashvald, and we see Uri, and we have Yhwach talking to Uryu about, the Quincy folklore. I forgot the exact name for it, but it's the Quincy folklore. And basically, he recites the Quincy folklore. And then Yhwach says, well, there's actually an addendum to that, Mark. There's actually an addition to that folklore. And then he repeats the folklore. And then he states, at the end of it, and who finally conquered the world in 9 days later. So, this is what I had a debate with my little brother. And I had to go back to the recent to earlier chapters in the arc. So let me read the entire folklore for you with that addendum on. Basically, it says, the sealed king of the Quincy, whose heart began beating again after 9 centuries, whose reason and intelligence then followed 9 decades later, and whose strength came back 9 years after that, and who finally conquered the world 9 days later. Now, the reason why I had a debate with my brother, and I finally saw what he was talking about, and I'm like, you know what? I had to go back, and what I did is that I reread the chapter where Mayuri was talking to Yamamoto, and how Mayuri stated to Yamamoto that you could have killed him 1,000 years ago. Then I reread the chapter where Isshin was talking to Ichigo about the Quincy folklore, and how 9 years ago he performed the Aoshirin, and he absorbed the powers, or he performed that selection, or yeah, it was like Yhwach was talking to Uyu in one of the earlier chapters about how, why did you survive 9 years ago when I performed that selection? And of course, again, getting back to what I was saying earlier, we have Isshin talking to Ichigo about the Aoshirin. Now, the way Isshin was talking about in that chapter, it appears as if like the 9 years ago was that point in time where which he absorbed the powers of the impure Quincy's. But now I'm thinking it's not the case. And the reason why is very simple. There's two things. Number one, when Yhwach first invaded Soul Society, he had to leave for some reason. He had to leave. He had to retreat because he could not stay in Soul Society. He could not stay apart from his own dimension for a period of time. And then I believe it's like either it's a few days later or like 1 day later, we now see that he's able to make it some. I mean, either it's him or I don't know. Or maybe it was some kind of like Quincy weapon or some kind of technology that's able to like make this dome and actually form their own world over the Soul Society. But again, like when he first got there, he had to leave the battle. So, and I forgot exactly how many days it took. Like I forgot how many days it was since Yhwach leaving the battle to now. I forgot. Maybe it was like a day. I don't know. I have no idea. I forgot. But here's my thing. The way when you take the addendum about what Yhwach just said, when Yhwach performed the Aoshirin, that was the end. That was the anniversary of his 90 decades of just his heart beating, and he regained his intelligence and he regained his reason. The moment he did that, he performed the Aoshirin, but he didn't fully gain the powers of those he performed the Aoshirin on until recently, which is why when Isshin was talking to Ichigo, he said that 9 years ago something happened, and then that's when like Masaki and Katagiri, they died, or Katagiri, she died a few months later, and then but basically that's when they lost their Quincy powers. They lost their Quincy powers, but probably Yhwach didn't absorb their powers right away, and it took 9 years for him to fully absorb their powers. And then in the same process, it's going to take him 9 days to fully conquer the Soul Society and the quote-unquote world. Why is that? Because the day before, he couldn't maintain his presence in Soul Society. He had to leave for some odd reason. He couldn't stay there. But all of a sudden, like a day later, dope, I'm back, bitches. So, and remember how Isshin was talking to Ichigo. He said specifically 9 years from today. 9 years from today. Remember, all the stuff we saw ever since Ichigo went back to the Royal Krogan Squad area. All the stuff we've seen since then, with Komamoru, with Hisagi, with Hitsugaya, with Byakuya, with Renji and Rukia, it's been only 1 day. It's been only 1 day. So, I think that Yhwach invaded 1 day before the anniversary of his 9th year when he regains his full power. One day later, I'm back. I'm Yhwach, and I'm back. And I'm gonna make this huge ass dome. And I'm going to literally invade the Serete and take it over. Because now my powers are back and full. So I think that this dome thing is his doing. Because he just got his powers back. That's what I truly believe. That this is the anniversary of his 9th year of regaining his powers. And now it is the start of the first day of the 9 days when he reclaims the world. So, and that ties in perfectly into the timeline. Because when Maru's talking to Yamamoto, he said, you could have killed Yhwach 1,000 years ago. In the time frame of that, 900 years would have taken, 900 years he regained his heartbeat. 90 years he regained his intelligence. And at the end of those 90 years, that's when he performed the Aoshiden. And then he stole the powers of the impure Quincy. But it took him another 9 years to fully assimilate those powers into his own power spectrum. And then now that those powers are fully assimilated into him, it is another 9 days till he controls and retakes the world. So that's why I had like this long ass debate with my brother about. And I think he's right. I think he's right about this. Because this to me makes a lot of sense now. Because at first I believed that he was saying the 9 days thing just so he could claim to Yhwach. I mean, just so he could claim to Hashvald and Uryu that I'm gonna take over in 9 days. At first I thought that it was like a bold statement, but my brother actually tied into the actual folklore, and he did so by stating that the 9 years, it's the start and finish, and this is the end of the process by which Yhwach claims all of his powers once more. And now this is going to be the start of him controlling the world, or him retaking the world. So just how the end of the 90 decades was him performing the Aoshiden. I could be wrong. We could be wrong about this. We really could. But let me know in the comment section down below, because I had like a long ass debate with my brother about this. So who knows? And that's the chapter, really. So that's a chapter right there. So the chapter is actually very simple when it comes to when it comes to structure. But in my personal opinion, the chapter does lead to a lot of good things for the future. It hints a lot of things in the future. Though granted, when it comes to negatives, the beginning, okay, again, Uryu chat, I don't really care about, fuck them. And how Hueco Mundo, it is vague as fuck. It hints at a lot of things for the future, but the problem is that, negative-wise, it's so goddamn vague. Because we don't spend enough time, like Kubo is like purposely keeping all this Hueco Mundo stuff in the dark, just to like surprise us. And it's very irksome. Because we've gotten a lot of detail when it comes to the Royal Guard, except for that one chick with the clothes and the Spirit King. When it comes to obviously Soul Society, like we see what's going on there, training. When it comes to Yhwach and the Quincy's, we see what's going on there. They're invading again right now, like a day later. But the problem is, when it comes to Hueco Mundo, it's vague as fuck. It's like, what's going on there? What's Urahara doing? Where's Grimmjow? Who is a new Ronker? It's too vague. It's pissing me off. And the next thing about it is that the whole Spirit Pass thing, it's a little bit too convenient. I mean, they could have really used that early on in the series, but they never really fucking did until like now. It's like, where the fuck were they in like chapter 50, not 500? The fuck. So, but that being said, my overall rating for the chapter, it had its cons. It had its cons and had its pros. Well, I thought it was a good chapter. Yeah, I did. I thought it was a good chapter of Bleach overall. Truth be told. Now, when it comes to the hiatus, all right, yeah, we're not done yet. Oh no, we're not done yet. When it comes to the hiatus, simply put, it appears as if like the series is almost over, because he said it's the last battle. Now, granted, given Kubo's art style, you know, like some panels back in the day, all white, Getsuga Tenjo, like right down the middle. That'll be the entire double-page spread. It's like, bro, what the fuck? He could do those same tactics, and go back to Kubo, with Mr. Trollface, like, oh, like, whoa, like, you back with this shit? With the one panel double page spreads of just black and white. He could do that. He really could. But the way I see is that it's 9 days. It's the final battle. But I'm not sweating it. Because think about it. The Ironclad Saga, the whole bout between the Shinigami and the Ironclad, that was about a year and a half, 2 years. And that was all one day. That was all one. Aizen doing his thing, walking up there, I'm a 4th dimensional being, yay! Ichigo, I'm 5th dimensional, motherfucker, woo! That was all one day. Uno. So, Ein in this case, because it's German, Ein. So, I really can see that this 9 days being like 3 years. I'm not joking. I mean, look at Naruto right now. Naruto, again, final arc, and they're going for a long-ass time. It's been 2 days, and it's been like 3 years. It's like, what the fuck? Yo! So, I mean, yeah, just don't sweat it. I mean, he says the last battle. Last battle is going to be like 3 years, give or take. I mean, that's my take. So, but we'll see. So, yeah, just don't sweat it. Like, Kubo, he needs a break. Give him a fucking break. The man needs a break. Stop sweating. I mean, there are people who are 7 PMs right now, probably. Like, oh my god, dude. Bleach is almost over. It's almost gone. No, Kubo. Getsuga. He's my favorite all the whole time. I'm like, take it easy. Bring it down. You're here. You need to be down here. Relax. You see what you can do when it comes to one-day sagas. Relax. Take it easy. So I'm done. King of Laning. Be sure, of course, rate, comment, and subscribe as always. My longest Bleach review ever. Peace. Have a nice day.